Get started. Our candidates, just to let you know, evening. Thank you for joining us this evening for the Candidate Forum for the Community Education Council for District 25. My name is Cherie Gibson, and I'm a member of the elections team at the Division of Family and Community Empowerment, also known as FACE, and I will be your co-producer for this Candidate Forum. It is important that all of our families are able to participate today, and we are very grateful to all the interpreters who are with us on separate lines. Thank you to Kathy Kim and Sang Kim, who are our Korean interpreters. Thank you to Shai Feng and Yudi Wu, who are our Mandarin interpreters. And thank you to Sandra Perez and Catalina Gomez Luna, who are our Spanish interpreters. We will now announce instructions in Korean, Mandarin, and Spanish for attendees who may wish to dial into the interpretation lines at this time. Kathy or Sang, can you please provide the instructions in Korean?
예, 지금 보고 계시는 그 미팅을 한국어로 통역을 받기를 원하시는 분께서는 한국어 컨퍼런스 전화번호인 877-853-5257번으로 접속하시고 핀 번호 543-538-4266번을 누르신 후 우물 정자를 누르시면 됩니다. 현재 줌 스크린상으로 그대로 뮤트를 해놓으신 후에 전화번호 별도의 전화 라인으로 877-853-5257번을 누르신 후 핀 번호 543-538-4266을 누르신 후 우물 정자를 누르시면 바로 한국어 통역 서비스를 동시에 받으실 수 있습니다. 감사합니다.
Thank you. Chi or Yudi, can you please provide the instructions in Mandarin?
Yes， 大家好。如果大家需要国语普通话翻译的话呢，请拨打电话888-475-4499，输入 ID 会议号码是268-015-0970。我重复一下，电话是888-475-4499，输入密码是268-015-0970。如果你想在这个 Zoom 上面听，我请你按静音，然后就可以在电话上面收听。谢谢。Thank you.
Thank you. Sandra or Catalina, can you please provide the instructions in Spanish?
Para interpretación en español, por favor marquen el 833-548-0282 e ingresen el PIN 973-942-4051 signo numeral. Nuevamente, para interpretación en español, por favor marquen el 833-548-0282 e ingresen el PIN 973-942-4051 signo numeral. Si quieren escuchar el audio en español, pero prefieren permanecer en esta sección de Zoom, para ver la audiencia en su computadora, por favor silencien la computadora y el volumen y marquen la línea de conferencia en español en su teléfono. Una vez más, la línea de la conferencia en español es 833-548-0282 e ingresen el PIN 973-942-4051 signo numeral. Gracias. Thank you.
Thank you all. Now, to share how the forum will work, I will now turn it over to Francis Gonzalez, representing the District 25 President's Council.
Thank you, Cherie. Welcome to 2021 CEC D25 Education Council elections. My name is Francis Gonzalez, and I am the co-president of D25's President's Council Board. And here moderating with me are Eleni Livididis, our recording secretary, Christine New, our treasurer, and we have Danielle DeMango, our superintendent, and Esther Maludo, our family leadership coordinator. I would also like to thank all the candidates and the families who have made the effort to be here tonight. Parents, it is your responsibility on behalf of our community to elect the best candidates for this council. During this forum, you will hear the candidates talk about why they should be elected to serve on the council. I recommend that you take notes, which you can share with your family or fellow parents who are unable to attend and use as a reference when you go online to vote during the first 2 weeks, of which is May 1st through May 11th. Before we meet the candidates individually, let us go over some rules of this virtual forum and our community norms. Christine will go over the forum ground rules. Thank you.
Hey, hello everybody. Good evening. This is District 25's forum ground rules are as follows. Each candidate will be asked the same questions. You will receive up to 2 minutes to respond to one question and up to 1 minute for each additional question. Each President's Council board member, Francis, Eleni, and I, will take turns to ask a question. When it is your turn, Eleni will call upon you to unmute yourself and turn on your camera to speak. Please remember, candidates must be polite and respectful. Personal attacks or personally intrusive questions will not be allowed. Please keep yourself muted when you are not speaking. Refrain from interrupting the candidates or speaking without being invited by one of the moderators. Please be concise in your responses. When your time is up, you will be muted to allow the other candidates an equal opportunity to speak for the same amount of time. Remember, this is your opportunity to introduce yourself to the community and demonstrate that you will be a valuable member of this education council. Good luck.
Hi, everybody. My name is Eleni Livididis, and I will be calling on you to answer the questions. The first question will be asked by Francis Gonzalez. Francis, you can start with your first question. And Eden Rubenstein, will you please come on camera? Please come on camera. If you'd like, unmute yourself and answer question number 1. You will have 2 minutes. Francis?
Thank you, Eleni. Tell us something about yourself and why you're running for an education council seat.
Good evening, everyone. I actually have stepped up this year as a parent who has a child in first grade and pre-K, and I've always wanted to kind of step into that role. I used to be very involved in education council as a student myself. And when my children finally got to the age of them being in school, I decided I wanted to kind of go back into that route of getting very involved in helping them and their schools as well. And I've stepped into the PTA this year as a membership personnel. And now I really want to kind of take it to the next level. I did do Chancellor Council for myself as a student, and I'm looking to kind of keep kind of growing in the roles that I have out there for myself as a parent to help my kids and all the other children around them. So I really am taking this as my advantage to kind of take that next step and really grow. And I've been looking to learn things throughout the year, and I look forward to hopefully next year having less restrictions hopefully out there in an effort to do so. I'm very local to the schools and the neighborhood, so I'm very around and ready to jump in and help out whenever possible. So that's something that's always big for me as well, because I do work from home, so I have that availability around to really be involved. So I'm just really excited to see what's out there and learn from that. So I look forward to meeting everyone else here as well, and wish everyone good luck.
Okay, thank you so much, Eden. Thank you for your response. Now we will hear from Joseph Benedetto. Can you please come on camera if you'd like, unmute yourself and answer question number 1.
Yes, thank you, and thank you for having me. My name is Joseph De Benedetto. I currently serve on the CEC as acting president, and I am just about ready to finish my 3rd term. And I am very proud to take part of this district. I've learned over the years the importance of having a positive and meaningful relationship with our key leaders in our New York City Board of Ed, from the political leaders to the district office to the principals, the teachers. So over the years, I've come to learn how they operate, and I enjoy working with them, and I hope to have the opportunity to work with them once again, particularly after a really tough year. I know that it's been tough for everyone, especially the struggling learners, and I hope that we can all come back and bring everyone back to school stronger, emotionally, socially, and academically. And I hope to have that opportunity.
Thank you so much, Joseph Benedetto. If I mess up anybody's name, I'm very, very sorry.
Quite all right.
Thank you for your response. Now we will hear from Michelle Frederick. Michelle Frederick, can you please come on camera if you'd like, unmute yourself and answer question number 1.
Hi, everybody. How are you doing? So my name is Michelle. I just want to start off by saying that I am very honored to be here, to be potentially part of something so important involving our children. I currently have 3 children that are in PSIS IS 499. 2 of them are in 1st grade. My oldest one is in 5th grade. I learned a couple of years ago, my oldest one had a learning disability. She currently has an IEP. So I currently I am a part of the PTA as a vice president. I want to be a part of the education of my kids, the education of all the kids in the public school system. I've always wanted to kind of have some, speak up for people who couldn't speak up. And as a parent, I think we have one of the most important roles and most important opinions. So that's one of the reasons why I would like to be included in the CEC 25. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Michelle, for your response. Now we would like to hear from Rashmi Krishnaraj. Rashmi Krishnaraj, can you please come on camera if you'd like, unmute yourself and answer question number 1.
Thank you, Eleni. I'm Rashmi Krishnaraj. I'm a proud parent. Oh, my timer didn't start, so should I wait? Okay. Thank you, Eleni. I am Rashmi Krishnaraj. I'm a proud parent of 2 District 25 New York City school children. They go to PS 24. I'm also a PS 24 PTA president and also the co-president of President Council. I bring passion and dedication on the table as a CEC council. I'm very aware of our community and of the community needs. The reason I'm running is because I care about our parents' voices. I care about the welfare of our children. I care about their education and social emotional aspect of their education. I care about all the children. I voted yes on the petition of the special need during our CEC meeting in February of this year. I care about our general ed students. What I bring on the table is my time, is my passionate, and my collaboration with the DOE and with the parents. And together, I feel that my leadership with your blessing can help bring some big changes in for the best interest of our children. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rashmi, for your response. Now we would like to hear from Jen. I'm going to say it wrong and I'm very sorry. Medetiche. If you can please come on camera if you'd like, unmute yourself and answer question number 1.
Thank you. Good evening. And you did a great job. Actually, it was a little off. It's Melatiche, but it's okay. Thank you. Thank you for having me, everyone. Again, my name is Joan Melatiche, and currently we live in Ozone Park. My son, he attends school in Flushing, so we've traveled very far, as you can see, to go back and forth. And what I noticed with that community, it's so close-knit, and I know for sure I would want to be a part of that. I work as a social worker, and I've worked in similar environments where I helped many seniors who were taking care of their children's children. And, you know, when those two worlds combined, it was very easy for me to see that, you know, me being a social worker, I can step in and advocate for these parents, in addition to just help them to just promote themselves and help their children in their communities. I've also volunteered in my son's school. I'm not on any boards at this time, but before the pandemic, I was working so much, and it really took a pandemic to help me to see that how important it is that I become so more involved in his schooling. Recently, I completed my doctoral degree, and mentioning this is just to show how much I am willing to work. Because once you're working on that type of degree, you get cut down so many times through the process, but I just continue to just go forward. And again, I'm caring and I'm kind, and I'm just willing to help and advocate on behalf of parents, diversity, equity, everything that entails and will encompass a good community for our children. And I thank you for having me tonight.
Thank you so much, Joanne, for your response. Now we would like to hear from Wing Yu. If you can please turn on your camera, unmute yourself, and answer question number 1.
Hi, good evening. Thank you for having me. My name is Wing Yu, also known as Wendy. I always wanted to be part of the education system. I was a graduate of Hunter College. When I entered, I pursued an education degree, but later on had changed. Now I am a self-employed attorney. I can speak multiple languages, and I hope that my language skills can provide assistance to the community, which currently my daughter attends school at PS 107. I volunteer at the school, and I noticed, you know, since the pandemic, there has been a lot of confusion with the system. And a lot of times, parents do not know how to navigate through the system. And I hope to be there and advocate for the children, for the parents, and be part of something that I truly care about. I care for all children's education. Education is very important for our youth, for our future. And I would be very honored to have a seat on the Education Council. Thank you so much for having me tonight. Good luck to everyone.
Thank you so much, Wing Yu, for your response. Now we would like to hear from Brooke Sturgeon. Brooke Sturgeon, if you could please turn on your camera if you'd like, unmute yourself, and answer question number 1.
Hi, my name is Brooke Sturgeon, and I'd like to say thank you to the President's Council for hosting this candidate forum. I have 2 children in District 25, one in 3rd grade and one in 1st grade. I sit on both of my students' PTAs, SLTs. I'm also a member of the PAC and the alternate for the District 25 PAC. I also sit on currently the Community Education Council, CEC. I believe that parents' voice is very important in our community. The only way to empower our children is to empower our parents and to give them a place to come and express their concerns and to be able to bring it back to our schools. And that's my biggest point, and my biggest point of volunteering is bringing the parents' voices up the way it should be. Good luck to everyone, and thank you.
Thank you so much, Brooke, for your response. Now we would like to hear from Heather Daley. Heather Daley, can you please unmute yourself if you would like? Yes. I'm sorry, turn on your camera if you would like, unmute yourself and answer question number 1. Sorry about that.
That's okay. That's okay. Thank you. First, I'm going to say I'm just honored to be here with all of these amazing parents. I know this year has been very difficult for parents. My name's Heather, and I am serve on my school leadership team as the secretary at PS 219. My son is in 3rd grade and attends the Horizon program there, and he has an IEP. I think I'm running for CEC because I'm concerned about students with disabilities specifically, and I really have a strong passion for advocating for those children. I don't know that our kids have been prioritized like they should through this pandemic, and equity and language access are very important to me. So I just want to make sure that I can be a bridge to the parents who have students with disabilities. Our current district right now, 41% of our kids didn't get their full services on their IEPs, and that's problematic for me. And so I wanted a place where I could really bring the voice of those parents to the table and to the central DOE, and maybe start to work towards making some changes so our kids are not being left behind. So that's really where my passion is. I also am a parent advocate I co-founded a group called Protect NYC Special Education. And we have a group of over 500 parents, and some of them are also going to school in District 25. And we do a lot of advocacy for those parents around their children with disabilities. And so I bring that to the table as well. And I ran a survey to get paras brought to the Learning Bridges program. Because the DOE didn't have the data and said that they weren't being turned away. So I proved that that was not the case, so that we could get the supports that they needed. So I had that experience, and I'm looking forward to hopefully serving on the council.
Thank you so much, Heather Daley, for your response. Now we would like to hear from Anna Canable. Hopefully I said that correct.
Hi, it's Ann Canable. Thank you.
Ann Canable, right?
Yes.
Got it. If you can please come on camera if you'd like, unmute yourself and answer question number 1.
Okay. Good evening, everyone, and thank you to the President's Council for hosting this evening and all the amazing parents that are here tonight, showing that it is so important to become more involved in our child's education and our community, our communities as a whole. A little bit about myself. I have lived and worked in District 25 for over 26 years. I have 3 children, elementary school, middle school, and a college, first-year college student. So I have been through the full range of the New York City school system. All 3 of my children had IEPs for different reasons. My middle child is in District 75. He has Down syndrome. So I'm very familiar with advocating on an IEP level, advocating in a general sense for the general population students. It's very important to stay on top of the needs of all of our students. I think that that's one aspect of the pandemic that remains to be seen is the impact on the children, the remote learning, and how many more are going to have IEPs after this. And so I think it's really important that we have strong community presence all around. I have also, my career is in the nonprofit sector, and I currently work for an agency also located in District 25 that services individuals with developmental disabilities and mental health issues. So I do have a strong background in both community service, community advocacy, and educational advocacy. It is a never-ending battle, as they say. Prior to COVID-19, I was also a first grade catechist at Holy Trinity in Whitestone. I served on multiple PTAs, currently serve on 2 SLTs, and am currently the borough president appointee seat on the CEC. And I look forward to hopefully getting a second term.
Thank you so much, Anne, for your response. Now we would like to hear from Aquila Osorio. I'm sorry if I messed up your name. Please come on camera if you'd like, unmute yourself and answer question number 1.
Good evening. I would like to thank everyone here and the President's Council My name is Akela Osorio. I now am on the CEC District 25 for the IEP seat. I have lived in District 25 all my life. I have 5 children, 3 that had IEPs, 2 in college now, 1 in high school, 1 in junior high school, and I have 1 that is starting in pre-K. This has been a passion for me to deal with children, deal with the school system, be a part of. I like to be a voice for people that do not have a voice. I always like to speak for others that, you know, doesn't always have the opportunity to do that or don't know certain things. I tried to do the best that I could on the CEC at this time. When it comes to IEPs, there is a huge gap that needs to be closed when it comes to these students. And I just would like to continue in that position to get a little bit more work done in the next term.
Okay, thank you so much for your response. That completes our first question. We will now move to our second question, which will be asked by Christina New.
Eleni, I'm sorry, before that, we need to read the statement.
Yeah. Has any candidates not answered the first question before we move forward? Just making sure everybody answered. Okay, good. We have 1 candidate, B. Young Im, that could not make it tonight. Francis Gonzalez will read his statement. Francis?
I don't have the statement in front of me. Hold on. Do we have that?
I have it.
Christine? I don't see it here.
I have it.
You see it?
No. Do you want to read it, Christine? I mean, Eleni?
Okay.
Doesn't matter.
Hold on a second.
I can read it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hello, good evening, parents, students, and community members. My name is Byung Im. I'm a parent, education advocate, and a legal counselor. I have 2 children who are currently attending a middle and high school in Queens. The reason why I am running for New York City Education Council election can be summed up in 3 words: all for kids. Parents, unions, councils, and schools, we all exist for students, no more, no less. What I focus on is very simple: 3 changes. Number 1, system change. Students decide, schools support. School management system led by students and parents, not by councils or administrators. For example, easy transfer and school tutoring are the top of my promises. Oops. I just lost my spot. Hold on. Number 2, curriculum change. Any curriculum or subject over 2 students will be open. Also, school exchange programs will be available during each semester. For example, a school student can pick some subjects in B schools and take credits. Additionally, during and after COVID-19, we open evening and weekend online classes for special credits to all students. Number 3, meals change. Best quality meals in New York City, for example. All school will provide meals as a buffet style. Students pick and eat. And we open school meal application for parents and students to check daily meal conditions. Above all, I am passionate about student-centered education system in public school. Here, I vow to serve diligently and honestly with special emphasis, all for kids. Students, parents, and community members, please vote for your kids. And Byung Im, Moses' daddy. I'm done.
Okay, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
We will now be moving on to question number 2. which Christina Niu will ask. Eden, can you please come on camera if you'd like, unmute yourself and answer question number 2. Christina will read it to you right now.
Okay. What attributes do you feel are essential for successful council members?
Thank you. I think in order to be successful, I think you have to be truly dedicated, truly caring, understanding, being able to listen, really take into account what everyone as a parent is feeling, not just what you're hearing from the leadership, but literally hearing what your parents are saying and the students are saying to their parents in order to say, hey, this is what is needed. This is what we need to do in order to make a difference. And really taking that time into account to say, okay, how can we reach that goal in order to make that difference for our children?
Okay, thank you so much, Eden, for your response. Now we will hear from Joseph Benedetto. Can you please come on camera, unmute yourself, and answer question number 2?
Yes, thank you. I'm here. Okay, so the attributes that I think are important are, number 1, be a team player. It's important to get along with all your CEC members. Number 2, step out of the box. It's not just about your own kids. As a representative on the CEC, sometimes you may make decisions that may not be what you personally feel, but are what's fair for the district and for the other students. And again, being fair and open and respectful to others is very important. And as I said earlier, work on your strong relationships. Make it happen, okay? That's about it right now.
Thank you so much for your response. Now I would like to hear from Michelle Frederick. Michelle, can you please come on camera, unmute yourself, and answer question number 2?
Okay, what I feel you would need to be a good CEC member, you have to be dedicated, you have to be passionate, and just caring in this type of situation. When we talk about kids, it's a very sensitive topic. And all in all, we just need to put our best foot forward and work together. As you work together, we put our minds together, put our brains together, we will all come up with a great result. Our kids are our priority, and we should take it as that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Michelle, for your response. The next person will be Rashmi Krishnaraj. Rashmi Krishnaraj, can you please turn on your camera, unmute yourself, and answer question number 2 for us?
The attributes that I bring on the table are passion, respect, and responsibility. I'm a dedicated parent and a dedicated community member. I bring my time and my dedication to the needs of all. I'm very respectful, but at the same time, I'm not scared to fight for those and fight for all. I don't give up even when I see an obstacle. I know how to bridge the gap between our parent voices and DOE. I try my best to work on the side of parents to make our parents' voices stronger for our kids. So I fight for the kids, and that's what I bring on the table.
Thank you so much, Rashmi, for your response. Now we would like to hear from Joanne Miletice. Joanne, can you please come on camera, unmute yourself, and answer question number 2?
Yes, I believe the attributes needed to be a CEC council member would be to be respectful, kind, and of course, passionate, have empathy, and also knowing a lot about diversity and be willing to learn about those who are different than ourselves. And when that becomes a problem or an issue, you know, we cannot let ego step in the way and not reach out to find out or learn about other cultures and just diversity in general. Also, as no one person is an island, Again, ego cannot get in the way when we need to draw from one another and to just learn more about helping parents and just, pushing and promoting advocacy and helping the community to become stronger than what it was before, because that's what it is all about. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your response. The next person we will hear from is Wing Yu. If you can please unmute yourself. I'm sorry, if you can please turn on the camera, unmute yourself and answer question number 2.
Hi. The attribute I feel is most useful as a council member would be, of course, good communication skills, which encompass listening skills. Okay. Need to know how to communicate with the other members, need to know how to communicate with the community, and also listen to the members and the community and to work together to reach our overall goal. We all need to put our personal feelings aside and really need to step forward and empathize with everyone in the community. And I would be very dedicated to the community because we as a whole is a community, and I would like to contribute as much as I am available as I can. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your response. Now we would like to hear from Brooke Sturgeon. Brooke, if you can please turn on your camera, unmute yourself, and answer question number 2.
Thank you, Lenny. I believe one of the most successful attributes for a council member is the ability to see beyond your own situation. Not every child in District 25 is set up the same way, and you have to be willing to fight for them, whether it's your child or whether it's a child in a different school or completely different neighborhood. And also you have to be willing to show up be on the subcommittees and make your voice heard, make your parents' voices heard. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brooke, for your response. We would now like to hear from Heather Daley. Heather, can you please come on camera, unmute yourself, and answer question number 2.
Hi. So I want to say that first, this year is like a really great opportunity. It's the first time that parents are able to vote for members of the CEC, which kind of changes the dynamics a little bit. So I believe that the attributes that are essential to being on the CEC is to be courageous and passionate and expansive in our goals, not being afraid to hold each other accountable to our students and families. And we have to absolutely be committed to equity, because when we raise up the needs of our most vulnerable, everybody benefits from that. And so I strongly believe in that. There has to be commitment, there has to be dedication, and a willing to bring the voices of parents to the table. I look at it as we are DOE, we're a parent-facing entity, not from the DOE side. Like, we are there for parents, to be a bridge for parents into the central DOE and not necessarily in the opposite direction all the time. And I think that that's what's most important.
Thank you so much for your response. We would now like to hear from Anne. I'm going to do it again.
Knable.
Yes. Anne Knable, can you please turn on your camera, unmute yourself, and answer question number 2 for us?
Okay, so I think that the most important attribute is teamwork, and the second would be communication. I think that we have an amazing district. District 25 is a very fortunate district in comparison to many others. I think that it's very important for the CEC to have a tight and good open line of communication with our district leaders, and the teamwork is going to be really important because we all have the same goal. I don't think we should be looking at the DOE or the school leaders as the enemy or someone that we have to battle against. I think if we keep, a peaceful line of communication and realize that we're all working towards the same goal, we all ultimately want the same things. So teamwork and communication, I think, is key. And then after that, bringing the issues from our parents in the proper way to the CEC and relaying that onward to the school to have the most effect is so important.
Thank you so much for your response. The next person we would like to hear from is Aquila Ozario. Aquila Ozario, can you please turn your camera on, unmute yourself, and answer question number 2 for us?
Okay. Good evening. I believe that communication is the key to all of this. Listening is another point. Sometimes a lot of people don't listen, they only hear themselves. So communication and willing to accept what other people are saying, their opinions, their version of certain issues and concerns that we ourselves may not see as an issue or a concern. Teamwork. As long as the communication's there, then we can work harder for our parents and our students with the communication with the district and the leaders and things of that nature. But my main thing is togetherness, working as a team, and communication. That brings strength. Without that, you don't work very well together. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your response. This completes our second question. We will now move on to the third question, which will be asked by me. Has any candidate not answered the second question before we move forward? Okay, so we will be moving on to the third question. The third question is, what is your vision for education in this community? I will repeat it one more time. What is your vision for education in this community? Eden Rubenstein, can you please unmute yourself? I'm sorry. Can you please turn on your camera, unmute yourself, and answer question number 3?
No problem. Thanks, Eleni. For our community, I want to see us reach continued new heights. I think we've made great strides this year considering the pandemic that we've been in. The fact that teachers have been able to transition over so quickly with the remote, and the fact that we have the options to go to the online teaching opportunities, not just like the remote teaching that we have, that they have that online availability for lessons on their own, the children. I think that for someone who has also a child with an IEP, I think that there's been great resources there for that as well. But I think we could always continue to grow with that. I think there's different things with that. So I think really just continuing to expand upon that and looking at other additional resources that we can continue to grow with that is what's really going to be great for everyone. And I think we can continue to just expand on it always. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Eden, for your response. We would now like to hear from Joseph Benedetto. Mr. Joseph Benedetto, can you please turn on your camera, unmute yourself, and answer question number 3 for us?
Sure, thank you. Well, this past year was like no other because of the pandemic. It uprooted all of us from the traditional forms of education. And we've realized that some students need a lot more help than others, and it's okay. But we all need to get back on track, not only as a healed community, but we need to all come back, like I said earlier, stronger emotionally, socially, and academically. I believe that our district is one of the best in the city, and we need to put the merits of all the students in our district on the forefront as we persist in our goals and try to maintain that district where everybody wants to be part of, because we are very diverse. We have students on all ends, from high achievers to average students to children with IEPs, and we were doing a great job before the pandemic happened. So I hope that we'll be able to bring it all back much stronger than before the pandemic occurred. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Joseph, for your response. We would now like to hear from Michelle Frederick. If you can please turn on your camera, unmute yourself, and answer question number 3 for us.
Our students are our next generation, the generation of skill, devotion, dedication. Our students deserve the best education, the best curriculum, and the best guidance. Our school system is very important, and it should not go unattended. We must continue to create better futures for our children. So my vision for our children is to have a good foundation and a bright future, because a good education is a foundation for a better future. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your response. We would now like to hear from Rashmi Krishnaraj. Rashmi Krishnaraj, can you please turn on your camera, unmute yourself, and answer question number 3 for us?
Thank you, Eleni. My vision for the education is no child left behind. And as my peers have already stated, District 25 is at a much better place than other districts. But we can continue to do better and better and better. I'm very much into academics, but along with academics, mental health for the students. I'm a big supporter of helping the kids emotionally and socially so they can do academically better. So my vision is to see the academics and social emotional health side by side to make our district a much better district for our students. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rashmi, for your response. We would now like to hear from Joan Melatechi. Joan, can you please turn on your camera, unmute yourself, and answer question number 3 for us?
Yes, the vision that I have educationally for the children would, of course, be to promote mental health for them. Hopefully sharing ideas with parents about implementation of programs specifically catered to the children within the school community. It is very, very important because this past year, I'm sure many of us, we've seen it all, and PTSD will run rampant and has run rampant amongst the children. So this is very, very important for our children. Also, I would like to also see special education children and Main Street children just combine a little more because this is what the world is made up of. And I would like to see a little more of that happening for the children, and educationally, the district is doing fine, and that's it.
Thank you so much for your response. Now we would like to hear from Wing Yu. Can you please come on camera, unmute yourself, and answer question number 3 for us?
We're very fortunate in District 25 that the community is very tight-knit. My vision for education is outreach to the community, educate and navigate. Educate, navigate, and outreach to the community, and let them know of the programs that DOE has for everyone, and to educate the community, how to navigate through the system, and to provide access to all the programs for all, and to hopefully we can, as a whole, come up with more academic, emotional, social program activities for the entire district, and hopefully we can show other districts what we can do as a whole. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your response. Now we would like to hear from Brooke Sturgeon. Brooke, if you can please turn on your camera, unmute yourself, and answer question number 3 for us.
Thank you, Lenny. Having been a member of District 25 since I myself was in kindergarten, I believe in our district. I believe in Danielle Domingo's slogan, strong roots build strong schools. And I believe I'm a strong parent advocate, and I'm doing my volunteer work. And that's what I see as the education for our community. The more parents volunteer and step up into their schools, the better it makes it for their children. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brooke, for your response. We would now like to hear from Heather Daley. Heather, if you can please turn on your camera.
Hi. Jordan. Sorry, it's just being loud.
Answer question number 3 for us.
Thank you. Again, I want to focus on English language learners and students with disabilities because I truly believe that when we elevate the needs of those facing the largest gaps, everyone benefits. I want to survey parents and principals to get an accurate picture of how they feel about our schools after the pandemic, so we have a strong voice of parents and students represented. So then we can begin to develop resolutions that help to close gaps for all students. We need a plan that's going to erase that 41% of students that didn't receive their services. And we also need to make sure that more than 50% of students with disabilities and English language learners are graduating on time. So those are really my priorities. I really believe that when we close equity gaps and we focus on closing those gaps, every single student can benefit. I know we have done a lot of good in our district, and I'm proud to have my student in District 25, but we shouldn't just focus on the successes when there are places that we really could improve.
Thank you so much for your response. Now we would like to hear from Anne Canable. Can you please unmute yourself?
Yes,
turn on
thank
your
you.
camera and answer question number 3 for us.
Okay, so my vision for the education in District 25 going forward, since we do have such a strong district, and I'm so confident that we will remain strong and just get stronger. I think it's really important, as I mentioned earlier, that the ramifications of this pandemic have yet to be seen. And I think that the key going forward is going to be getting the children the mental health assistance that they're going to need, because this has been tough on adults. I can't imagine what it's doing to the children. It's just upended their whole world, their whole education. So to bring them back, when we come back into the buildings full time, I think there's going to have to be a very strong piece that's going to be focused directly on the mental health and the coping and that aspect. So basically that, going forward, I think should be a really important part of the education for our district.
Thank you so much for your response. The next person we would like to hear from is Aquila Osario. Can you please turn on your camera, unmute yourself, and answer question number 3 for us?
Good evening. As the other candidate stated, mental health is a really big issue at this particular time. This past year has been tragic to the parents and the students. And I know going forward, these kids going back to school is going to be very challenging for them. And I know that the district is going to do well. They did very well at this time, with the remote learning and things of that nature. I just hope that moving forward, the children with IEPs and disabilities are seen more, heard more, that they get the services that they need. And even with the mainstream, I just hope that when everybody goes back, it works out and whatever mistakes were made before, they can be fixed.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody. This completes our 3rd question. We will now move to our 4th question. Has any candidates not answered the 3rd question before we continue? Okay, wonderful. Francis Gonzalez will read the 4th question.
Okay, so before we read the 4th question, Cherie, do we continue on until 8:30? Because this is our last question, or do you want us to come up with more questions after our 4th question?
No, you can end after your 4th question if you like. You don't have to use the whole 2 hours.
Okay, I just wanted to be clear. Okay, so this is the last question. What is something you believe will benefit our district and make it stronger? Go ahead, lady.
Thank you so much, Francis. Okay, Eden Rubenstein, can you please?
No problem.
Turn on your camera, unmute yourself, and answer question number 4.
Sure. I think truly just sticking together as a community, as a district, and really staying as one, and honestly being a team always is what's really going to continue to build us together and continue being like one of the best districts out there. I think we really do have the best district. Ever since I started paying attention as I started having kids and really researching everything and knowing where I was living, we really do have the best district out there, and I want it to continue to be like that. And I think we really need to band together as a community, as a team, and that's the only way we could do so. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Eden, for your response. Now we would like to move to Joseph Benedetto. can you please?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my God, I'm getting tongue-tied after all these times.
I got you.
Please turn on your camera, unmute yourself, and answer question number 4 for us.
Am I on?
Yes, we hear you.
Okay, gotcha. So I think our district would benefit by having everybody work together as a single group, being respectful of each other, being open to the differing opinions, and understand that we're a diverse community, and putting all our forces together to make sure that we're all working for the one common goal, and that is to make our students achieve the best of what our public education has to offer, so that it will make them better, stronger, and more successful for the future.
Thank you so much for your response. The next person we will hear from is Michelle Frederick. Michelle, can you please turn on your camera, unmute yourself, and answer question number 4 for us?
So, in my opinion, everyone as one. Teamwork makes the dream work, and know that you're not alone. If we can focus and tunnel in on what's most important, we can accomplish what we are setting our goal as. Our kids are our number 1 priority. I can't stress it enough. They are our priority. So if we work together, we can get through it together. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your response. Next, we would like to hear from Rashmi. Rashmi, can you please turn on your camera, unmute yourself, and answer question number 4 for us?
Thank you, Eleni. Something that I believe that will make our district stronger will be focusing on equity for all, which we are already doing. We are doing great, but there's always more that we can do. Our district is a melting pot for people from all over the world with different backgrounds, cultural and ethnicity, to make it come together for our students, because our students are the future generation of our society. Help them understand the differences, respect the differences, and come together as a stronger, as a one voice for all. So that's what I believe can help our district go at a higher ground. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your response. Next, we would like to hear from Joan Malatiche. Can you please turn on your camera, unmute yourself, and answer question number 4 for us?
Yes, I believe what would make the district stronger is to promote parents, create stronger cohesive bonds with one another, to help promote advocacy for one another, and to also understand that our term and time there would be very short, 2 years. So long after we're gone, they have the skills to continue expanding on their communities and making it stronger for their children and themselves. I feel that that's very, very important, because it's one thing for me to advocate for them, but it makes them so much more stronger when they're able to do it for themselves, or in a concerted effort with all of us to help them in their communities. So I believe that's what's very, very important. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your response. Now we would like to hear from Wing Yu. Can you please turn on your camera, unmute yourself, and answer question number 4 for us?
Sure. I believe that for everyone to work together is the most beneficial to our district, not just the parents but not just the members, but everyone in the school system to work together as a whole. Of course, we all have to start small in our own school, and then in our members' council, and within the school, and then the district. But as long as we all have the same goal, which is all the focus on our children and their education and their academics, I believe we will reach that goal. So I believe this most beneficial to our district is working together and communication. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your response. We would now like to hear from Brooke Sturgeon. Brooke, can you please turn on your camera, unmute yourself, and answer question number 4 for us?
Thank you. I already believe our district is one of the strongest districts. The only way to make it stronger is, like most others were saying, is for everyone to work together, the teachers, the parents, and administration. As long as we don't see it as we're working against each other, but we're all working for our children, I believe our district will become stronger. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your response. Now we would like to hear from Heather Daley. Can you please turn on your camera, unmute yourself, and answer question number 4 for us?
Hi. Okay, so I've been thinking about this, and I appreciate everybody's thoughts on working together, and I think that's kind of a given. We all have to communicate and work together. I really think that this year, given the COVID-19 pandemic, that we really need a comprehensive plan to assess the loss and the gaps in our students and make a plan to address those gaps that's comprehensive and measurable. And we need to hold the superintendent accountable to the mental health, academic, and equity outcomes for our students. That's one of the roles of the COC, is to review the superintendent and communicate where we really think there's areas of growth. And we need a plan that we can measure to do that. We need to organize parents. I've been organizing over 500 parents in my parent advocacy group with my co-founders, and it's a really great way to hear from parents directly and make sure their voices get amplified. So I believe strongly in that. And we need to not only amplify their voices, but be willing to take action as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your response. The next person we would like to hear from is Anne Canable. Can you please turn on your cameras, unmute yourself, and answer question number 4 for us?
Yes, thank you so much. So I think that the one thing that will benefit our district and make it stronger is to have a CEC that truly understands the roles and responsibilities of the CEC, because I think that sometimes that gets lost, especially in this past year of so much confusion and so much turmoil. It's been easy to become misguided on what the role of the CEC is. And although we are advocating for certain specific things for our children and our community, it is not an advocacy group, and it is not a group that battles the DOE. It is a group that should be working with the DOE, working with the parents, working together to, as I said before, towards the same goal. We all have the same end goal and same end result, and that's only going to happen if everybody understands their responsibility and place. So looking forward to that happening.
Thank you so much for your response. Now we would like to hear from Akila Ozario. Can you please turn on your camera, unmute yourself, and answer question number 4 for us?
Good evening. I think the main benefit is for our district would be just the communication on all aspects, and not pointing the finger, not finding out who's right or wrong, but more or less working together and making sure that everybody's on the same page to have that end result. Not arguing and fighting or things of that nature. I think it's better good communication. And good communication, and with that, we will move further and it will definitely get stronger because everybody is getting along.
Okay, thank you so much for your response. This completes our 4th and final question. Has any candidate not answered the 4th question before we move forward? Okay, great. Thank you all for attending tonight's candidate forum. Our thanks to the candidates for their participation and to our families for coming out to learn more. Be sure to share your notes with your families and fellow parents, and of course, make sure to vote. Thank you to our election team for coordinating logistics for tonight's forum. Sherry, will you please close us out?
unit. Sorry. Thank you, Eleni. Thank you, Francis. And thank you, Christine, for your moderation. Great job tonight. As we close out, sorry, it was too busy. As we close out, we want to remind our families that the recordings of this forum and all forums previously presented are available for viewing on our site. See the address noted on the slide on your screen. You can also find the link on the elections page at the DOE website at schools.nyc.gov/elections2021. Remember, voting begins May 1st and runs through May 11th. It is important to have your linked New York City Schools account active. It is the only way to participate in the voting. If you do not have an account or need assistance with it, please contact your child's school's parent coordinator. If you have any questions, please contact the elections team at elections2021@schools.nyc.gov. Good night.